everyone, it's Gail here. I'm live with my new tech. So I'm using StreamYard again, and I have been mucking around with branding and overlays and gosh, getting very technical. Just looking over here on my other screen to see if I am actually live in the right place. Where am I live about just now? Am I on my profile or am I on my Facebook page? Let's see. I think I'm on the right place. Let me just refresh over here and just check that I am showing up somewhere. Yes, I am. I'm there. Okay, so it seems to be working, and I've got somebody watching me already as well, which is great. So if you are on watching me live, then give me a little comment, let me know that you're here, say hi. You can just put a little comment on, and you might need to do there's a little thing, because I'm using StreamYard, you need to just click on the little thing. I don't actually know if it tells you that. Does it tell you that? I'm looking at my live and it doesn't say that. I'll just expand this over here so I can see what you can just put a little comment on, and you might need to do that there. So Gillian is on. Hi, Gillian. How are you? And I see you've done the StreamYard link. So there is a thing you're supposed to do with StreamYard, and usually it comes up and says you have to click the thing so that I know who it is that's watching, but it doesn't seem to have done that with this live, so I'm not sure why that is. But anyway, I can see that Gillian is on. Gillian said hi. And it looks like Lindsay has joined as well, although one of them has dropped off because I've only got one person watching live now. So yeah, if you're here, just drop me a little comment. Let me know that you're here, that you're watching. Let me know what you're up to. How's your day been today? It's been absolutely chucking it down here, and our boiler is broken. So we've got a broken boiler. It's raining. The engineer has been out, right? So we've had somebody come out already to look at the boiler, and we need to get he needs to get something for it. So he's coming back tomorrow. So that means we have no hot water. We've had no hot water since last night, so no hot water until sometime tomorrow. So I'll leave that to your imagination about what is going on in our house. So no hot water. So any hot water that we're using, we are having to use from the kettle at the moment. And I had said that I was doing this live, and I was thinking, right, okay, well, no hair done. It's like, okay. Just going to have to do it. So here we are. I'm live. That just shows you that it is definitely live. It's no joking. It is definitely live. So yes, just let me know. Let me know what you're up to. I see Janice has joined as well. Hello, Janice. Not seen you for a long time. Don't know if you're still live or not, because it says you've joined, but it's still telling me over here that only one person is watching, and Justin has joined as well. So I am streaming live apparently to my Facebook profile and to YouTube, by the wonders of technology, all at the same time. And today, Gillian saying you look brilliant. Honestly, Gillian, like, first it was the telly, so we had to get a new telly. What happened after that? Then the oven broke, so we had to get a new telly. Then the oven broke, so we've got a double oven thing, and so we're down to one oven. And because the thing is, the way that the sort of oven that we've got, it's a kind of, it's like a range cooker thing. It's really old though, so it's not like a fancy thing or anything like that. It's really, really old. In fact, we found out when the engineer came round that it's actually 25 years old. And it still works. Hard to believe that. So still almost working. So not quite working, still almost working. Apart from one of the ovens. So the other oven is still working. But that can't be fixed because it's too old, so it's too big to be fixed. So we're down to one oven on that and trying to decide, right, should we get a new range oven, a range cooker, because the kitchen is also old. So when we moved into this house, we knew there was something else that we wanted to do with the kitchen, so we never replaced the kitchen. We just left it the way it was, and the windows haven't been replaced or anything in the kitchen. And we just thought, we're going to change all that really soon anyway, so we're just going to leave that for now. And I think we've been in this house now for at least 9 years, maybe 10 years, and the kitchen's still not been done, and now the oven's broken. And so now it's like, right, okay, so do we replace the range cooker, knowing that we need a new kitchen and knowing that we're thinking about doing an extension? Or do we just say, do we bite the bullet and say, right, okay, let's do it all now? But the thing is, what's going to happen is the other oven's going to break and we're going to have to get a new range cooker to go in there as a temporary stopgap until we decide what we're doing with the kitchen and whether or not we're doing an extension. So push is going to come to shove at some point, but I think that's what's going to happen. We're just going to end up having to get a new cooker. But anyway, I see that a couple of people have joined over on my other screen over here. I see Julie Begbie has joined. Hello, Julie. How are you? So Julie's my business buddy. So we are good friends, and we always swap business stories. So we're always doing similar things in our business. So we're always messaging each other. How do you do this? How do you do that? Have you done such and such? Because we're usually always doing the same things round about the same time. So so Julia's on, so good to have you on here as well. So today, this is my new Ignite show. So I decided I was going to do a show. So welcome if you are watching. And if you're not watching me live and you're tuning in at some point, Julia is saying everything is breaking because of the upcoming eclipse. I didn't actually know there was an eclipse. When is the eclipse happening? I didn't know there was an eclipse. Well, no chance of seeing an eclipse at the moment, that's for sure. So this is my new show, the Ignite show. So all my stuff is all called Ignite, so it made sense to call it the Ignite show. So it's the Ignite show with Gail Logan, and I'm going to be doing this on Mondays and Thursdays. So you'll be able to catch me live at 5. Right, so I'm always live at 5 so that people know when I'm going to be live. So live at 5 on Mondays and Thursdays, and this is the first one that I've done. So I'll be here again on Thursday at 5, and I am intending, she says, to do this every week. So every week, Mondays and Thursdays, will be a different topic for everyone that I do. And so if you want to come and listen to me rambling on about stuff, you can always come and join me on a Monday and a Thursday at 5 o'clock, live at 5. And today I am struggling actually, because I take antihistamines for allergies, and I have a nasal spray as well, and my spray has run out and I need a new one, and I've not ordered it yet. And when that happens, I always notice that my voice goes a bit funny. So we'll see how I get on today. I'm going to try and keep my voice going. So what am I talking about today? So today I am talking, because I'm about to do my Find Your Balance program, what I thought I would do. So I'm running Find Your Balance over the summer. Just looking at my pink book down here, actually. Everything's pink, look. completely color coordinated. I'm in pink, my book's pink, all the branding's pink. Just I've got a little pink cup here as well. Like, this is my wifey cup. I don't know if you can read that or not. Wifey. I got this at Christmas time, so I've got a wifey one and a hubby and wifey. So and it's pink as well. Hubby and wifey. So everything around me is pink. Just because it's my favorite color. So so today, because I'm running my Find Your Balance program, so that starts on the 9th of July, I thought I would have a little bit of a theme over the next, so I'm going to do today, Thursday, and then Monday, and then next Thursday my program actually starts. So for the next 2 or 3 of these, I'm going to be talking a little bit about balance and work-life balance, overwhelm, stress, that whole thing, and sharing with you just some of my little nuggets that I'll be putting into the program or talking about in the program, so that you get the benefit of them from watching me live. And so today, what I thought I would talk about that would be useful is the one big thing, right? So the thing I said I was going to talk about in this is the one big thing that's stopping you from having the work-life balance that you want. And if you've got any ideas on what that is right now, then you can always pop that in the comments and let me know what you think. And actually, so there you go, there's a question. So when you think about yourself, so what is the one big thing that's stopping you having the work-life balance that you want? So let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on that. And interestingly, I did a poll on LinkedIn on this the other day. So I can't remember if it was over the weekend or last week, but I shared this on LinkedIn earlier today. So I did a poll, and the question was, now what was the question? The question was, the question was, do you schedule time for yourself in your diary or your calendar? Do you schedule time for yourself in your diary or your calendar? And about 30 people responded to it, which was quite good. It's not a huge sample, but 30 people. And the options were always, sometimes, rarely, or never. So there were 4 options: always, sometimes, rarely, or never. So what do you think? What do you think the result of that poll was? What do you think the split was in terms of percentages? So always, sometimes, rarely, never. How many people do you think selected the different options? So always, sometimes, rarely, or never. So have a wee think about that, and talk about something else while you think about that. And again, if you're watching on replay, let me know what you think the answer is as well. So always, sometimes, rarely, or never. How often do you, so out of the 30 people that responded, what do you think the split was? And so while you're thinking about that, so I thought I would talk about what is the one big thing. Gillian's saying mostly, rarely. Could be. I'll let you know in a second. So what is your one big thing that's stopping you having the work-life balance that you want? And the thing about this is, so in my book club, we are reading the book for June, which is just about finished, right? And so here's my copy of it. Start with Why. So this is Start with Why. Do it that way. Start with Why by Simon Sinek. So a lot of you will have heard of Simon Sinek. So he did the amazing TED Talk on Start with Why, and he's got this book as well. And we need to, Nadia McCanson. Hello, Nadia. How are you? Didn't know you were here. We need to have this finished by the end of the month, right? So I was speed reading it over the weekend. However, while I was speed reading, I was still making sure, I don't know if you can see that, so I was still making sure that I put all my little sticker notes in it, because whenever I'm reading a book that's kind of like a reference book and something that I will, God, my voice is going, I can hear it going squeaky. Something that, I want to refer back to, or if there's, salient points that, I just want to remember, I always just put little sticky notes in the bits that really captured my attention. But I've also got one sticky note to show me where I have read up to. So you can see if I do it this way. So this is the bit, this side is everything that I've read, and I've still got that to go, and it's got to be finished by the end of the month, because we're moving on to another book, because we're moving on to a new book in July. And the book that we are reading in July starts on Wednesday. So the book we're reading in July is Dare to Lead by Brené Brown, who I absolutely love. And I've read it before, but it's going to be great to read it again. Nadia's saying she's just joined. Well, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining my new Ignite show, Nadia. Great to have you here. And you're saying that you agree with Gillian, who's saying mostly, rarely. So I'm going to answer that in a sec. So the one big thing, so when you think about it, and actually I've kind of changed my thinking on this, because I used to say that the one big thing was actually something else. And I need to think about this for when I'm doing Find Your Balance, when I'm doing the live component of it. So I do think, so there's actually a couple of things to this. So the one big thing is, or what I used to say is, it's about being really clear what your goal is, right? Because when I teach work-life balance, and when I do this, live, in person, face-to-face, so I usually have, say, between 8 and 12 people in the room with me when I do this. And the first thing that I do is I talk about, okay, let's understand what your challenges are with work-life balance, right? And so I whiteboard it and get a pen out, and I just open the floor, and off we go. And it's point after point after point after point. I never have any time for myself. I'm always run ragged. I feel like I can never say no. I can never get home on time. I'm working too many hours. I'm exhausted. It's stressful. And on it goes, right? So the list just goes on and on and on and on, because we're all really able quickly to say, this is my struggle with work-life balance. And sometimes actually, we wear it like a badge of honor. Like really, when you think about it, we wear it like a badge of honor. Oh, you're not as stressed as I am. I'm more stressed than you. And so anyway, I allow the room to vent and really capture, so what are the challenges with work-life balance? And that usually takes, depending on the size of the workshop, how many people are attending, that can take anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes to just really whiteboard and really get to the bottom of what are all the challenges with work-life balance. I've sent an email to say that I'm now live on YouTube on my channel. And so then what I do, so we get all that out, and I was like, right, okay, great. Now what I want you to think about is, what is work-life balance for you? So tell me easy for me to say, tell me what work-life balance looks like. What would be different if you had work-life balance? And then I just stay quiet, because every time I run this, what happens is I put that out there and the room just goes silent, right? It's like silence. The tumbleweed could be rolling across the floor, and everybody just sort of looks at me, and then they start looking at each other. It happens every time I do this, right? Then they start looking at each other, and then someone might eventually pipe up and offer something. But the whole point of it is, and the reason that I do this is because when we're thinking about balance and we're thinking about work-life balance, we need to be clear what it is that we're trying to achieve, right? So we need to be clear what it is that we're trying to achieve, because with any goal, if we don't know what we're aiming for, we can't get there, right? We're never going to get there. We need to know what it is that we're trying to achieve. So I've always said, up until now, I've always said the one big thing that you need to do if you want to have work-life balance is you need to be really clear and specific about what that is. And then when I start drilling into it, I'll say, right, so what is work-life balance? They'll be like, oh, well, I want more time for me. I want more time at the gym. I want to have dinner with my family. I want to leave on time, right? And so that, they come up with these phrases that are really woolly. And so then I start, challenging them and saying, well, what does that really mean? How much more time? What time is the right time? How many hours a week do you want to spend for yourself? So depending on what your thing is, Nadia saying, I remember when you did it with me, didn't know what to say. And she's saying, I do now though. Yes, well done, Nadia. Yeah, a bit of a tricky one that I do, kind of, dig into this with people and make them squirm a little bit around it. So the thing is, I start getting them to be, to really dig into this, to be really specific, really clear. This is what work-life balance means for me. And the other thing that I do is I help them to realize and understand. So when we go around the room and we start talking about this together, is to start to identify that, my version of work-life balance is completely different to your version of work-life balance, and it's completely different to that person's work-life balance, because we're all different, and balance means different things to different people. So that was my thing. I always just say, this is the one big thing is you must have a goal, and anything that you want to achieve, you've got to be really clear and specific about what is it that you're trying to achieve, what does that look like, and let's pin it down and make it clear so that you know whether or not you have done it. So that's the first thing. So then, because we've been hanging out with Simon, put that over the right place, hanging out with Simon. So this book, if you haven't read it, this book is all about really getting to grips with why do we do the things that we do. And it's about, people follow people because they want to, because they believe the things that they believe. and that, you know, we make decisions with our gut, right? But actually, when we're making gut decisions, we're actually making the decisions in our limbic brain. So there's two bits of our brain. There's the limbic brain and there's the neocortex. The neocortex is responsible for language. The limbic brain is responsible for decision making and emotion, right? And so language is at the front of the brain. Our emotions are in the middle of the brain. It's actually difficult sometimes for us to explain why we do what we do and what we believe. And we think we're making decisions with our gut, but we're actually making decisions with our limbic brain. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is that when we're really clear why we are doing something, everything else falls into place. Everything else comes after that. And so if you set a really clear goal about work-life balance, that's great. And I still stand by that, and I still think it's really important that you do that. What I'm layering on now is, before you even set your goal, you need to get real clarity on why do you want it? Why do you want it? What's important to you about it? And be really clear and connect with that, because if you don't know why you're doing something and you haven't got a strong connection to the why, no matter what the goal is, you're never going to stick to trying to achieve it if it's difficult to achieve, right? So if it's difficult, and we know, like, people wouldn't talk about the challenges with work-life balance if it was easy to achieve. Work-life balance is hard. You know, it's hard getting to a point where you feel that you have the balance that's right for you. You have to fight for it. You have to put boundaries in place. You have to learn how to say no. You have to have conversations around it. You need to set expectations. It doesn't just happen. You know, you need to schedule things in. You need to plan. You need to be clear what your priorities are. You know, there's a whole heap of stuff goes into getting the balance that you want. And so when something's hard, we need to be emotionally connected to why we're doing it, and being emotionally connected to making it happen for ourselves. Because if we're not emotionally connected, as soon as it gets hard, we're just going to give up, you know? So yes, it's important to have a really strong vision and to create a real clear goal. But the vision piece, and that starts to get into our why, comes before that, and it's so, so important. And so my big tip for you tonight really is, if you struggle with balance, if you struggle with overwhelm, if you get overloaded, if you always find yourself taking on too much, if you're always saying yes, if you can't protect your boundaries, if you're always late home from work, if you're always letting your family down, right? Because work always takes priority, you know, not that I've ever done that, right? What you need to get really clear and connected with your why. Like, why is it important that you do that? And then you can create your goal that's going to help you based on your why. And when you create a goal that's based on purpose and based on why you want to do it, you're going to be much more likely to go after it and make it happen. Okay, so that's the thing. So coming back to my poll, so I was asking you, what do you think people said? So 30 people replied to my poll, and out of the 30 people, so the options were, so the question again was, what was the question? Do you schedule time for yourself in your calendar? And the options were always, sometimes, rarely, and never. So out of the 30 people, 50%, half of the people said they either rarely or never schedule in time for themselves. 50%. Now, I know it was only 30 people, but still 50%. I mean, that was actually quite staggering to me. And I'll leave you with that, because that's the thing. Like, if something's important, but it's not urgent, we need to schedule it in. Otherwise, it's never going to happen. And that usually means a lot of the things that we want to do for ourselves can easily just fall to the wayside and go further down our priority list if we don't protect our boundaries around it, if we don't schedule it in and we don't make it happen for ourselves. Okay, so 50% of the people that I polled in my short poll, 30 respondents, said that they either rarely or never do this. And that's something that we need to be conscious of, and be conscious of that and be deliberate about it so that we make it happen for ourselves. So there's the thing. Right. Oh, I just see Karen Bonner has just joined. Hi, Karen. How are you? I'm just wrapping up on my new Ignite show, but thank you for tuning in. So you might want to just do a hashtag replay, because I'm just about to wrap up and drop off. Hashtag replay if you're watching this on replay and you're not attending, you're not watching live, but hashtag replay so that I know that you're tuning in. So I will be back on Thursday with my new show. This is the first one done, so I'll be back on Thursday with the show. I haven't decided yet what I'm talking about on Thursday, but it's going to be something to do with balance, overwhelm, this whole area, because that's what I'm focusing on right now. I'm promoting my programs. I'm running my Find Your Balance program over July and August. What's Nadia saying? Nadia's saying, since meeting you, Gail, I have started scheduling in things for myself. Yay, good, Nadia. My calendar has these calls. Yes, I know, because you turn up religiously, Nadia. You do. You always turn up for my stuff. Fitness classes and Zoom calls with friends. That includes Karen Bonner. Yay! And Karen just joined. So there you go. So what was I saying? Yes, I'll be back on Thursday. If you're in my free group, I will be live in there on Wednesday, and I'm actually running a free masterclass in that group on Wednesday. So I'm going to be talking about how to, what is it I'm talking about? Something to do with feedback. That's it. That's what it is. How to appreciate the gift of critical feedback. All right, that's what I'm talking about on Wednesday. So how to appreciate the gift of critical feedback. I did that as a guest session in another Facebook group last week for someone, and the lovely Katie Spreadbury in her group, and she's going to be coming into our group actually to do a live on her stuff. So I did that, and I thought, well, I may as well, repurpose that and share that with the group as well. So we are celebrating in my free group. We are celebrating getting to over 500 members. So we hit 500, and now we're way past that. And yeah, so I said when we got to 500, I would do a free masterclass in the group. So that's happening on Wednesday. And when we get to 1,000, I'll do another one. So there's a little incentive to help us grow the group even more. And Gillian is saying, how to appreciate the gift of critical feedback, Wednesday at 5 p.m. Yeah, so make sure you tune in for that. I'll be back on Thursday with this live show. And this is going out live on YouTube as well. If you're watching this back, hashtag replay so that I know you've tuned in. Please let me know if you've got any questions or any comments. And what's the other thing I was going to say? Yeah, so if you would like to join me in my program, so Find Your Balance, it is a very short, emphasis on the very, very short program. So it's basically, you get all of the content. The content is video-based content, it's online, and you get access to that as soon as you join. And I'm doing, as part of that, so you get all of the content, but then I actually take you through I do some live stuff with you as well. So there's a live masterclass on the 9th of July at 3 o'clock. And then there is a follow-on call on the 6th of August, also at 3 o'clock UK time. And it's great. So I did it a few months ago. I had a small group of people in there, and it worked really well. Really enjoyed it. Really great discussions in the group. So we'll be doing that again. So really, it's for you if you are results-driven women. So results-driven women in tech. That's who my people are. Results-driven women in tech who is stressed and overwhelmed, basically. So if you are finding it difficult to get the right balance in place for you and you would like some help with that, then that program is for you. It's £99 for all of the content and the masterclasses, and you'll be connected with me and get support from me over July and August. And then that leads us nicely back into what I'm going to be starting in September, which is my Leading with Confidence sessions. So I'll be doing a monthly Leading with Confidence masterclass that will complement my Ignite program. That's going to be starting in September. But if you're interested in joining me for Find Your Balance, it's going to be great. Can't wait to do it. Drop me a little message or private message me and let me know if you're interested, and I can get you set up with that. So that's it for today. That's my first Ignite show done. and quite pleased with all my tech and all the graphics and everything. So yeah, I will see you on Wednesday in my free group if you want to join me for that, and hopefully see you on Thursday as well for the next ones, for the next Ignite show. So live at 5, that's my thing, live at 5. If you want to join me live, it's always going to be at 5 o'clock, Mondays and Thursdays, the Ignite show. I will hopefully see you again soon. Thanks everyone, have a great night. It's freezing out there, so, and we've no heating. no hot water, no heating. So have a great night everyone, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.